What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today is October the 8th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is doing today. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data, only one to really watch for is FOMC, but in reality, it hasn't really been a market mover since about 2024. We have a lot of Fed speakers today that could potentially cause a lot of volatility, no different than yesterday. But I think one thing that might happen is in the second half of the day, you might have some profit taking starting to occur as you have the big bad Powell tomorrow morning. And generally, we always see a little bit more of a profit taking event leading into his speeches, just in case. And honestly, kind of makes sense. Aside from that though, futures are looking somewhat pretty good. So Dow is up 0.25, S&P up 0.18, NASDAQ up 0.12. Fear and greed index, it did move back into the neutral category. Still though, based on a lot of the stocks that I will be talking on, appetite for risk is on the table. Getting right to it, SOFI is up 1.6%, so they are hell-bent on just moving on higher. Very nice recovery off of that kind of $25 range, so things are looking pretty good for them. Shorts, 9.8% of the free floats being shorted, works to be 116 million shares. What is rather odd is shorts still increasing, so I don't know why they are doing it leading into their earnings. Maybe again, they are just trying to slow the SOFI train. And yeah, clearly it's not working all too well. So I think that might result in a little bit of a pinch or sticky scenario. But aside from that, with it right now at 28.58 in the pre-market, is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So next strong target will be that 29.33. Potentially could be touched dependent on if SOFI gets that FOMO rush again, no different than what happened the last couple trading days. But realistically, I feel like it might come a little bit short, might test that 29, but I don't see it breaking above this 29.33 range. That most likely will be a target for tomorrow, potentially. So just watch for that. And then 26.81 will be that strong support, and I don't really see that being touched today. Moving on, NIO is up 0.67%. Nothing crazy, some speculative topics that I'll kind of save for my dedicated NIO video, but aside from that, it's mostly its technicals that is moving it. 10.85% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 150 million shares. Shorts are actually doing the opposite of SOFI ones, and they are kind of returning. So kind of a good thing, although it's not really causing NIO to really break out. It is still lingering around that key point though, because it really needs to get above that 780 in order for it to really move higher to the 8s and then potentially 9s and so forth. So right now with that 755, it is right above this pivot point. So today just watch for 754 to be that key point to watch for, like pivot wise, and best case scenario it does close above that. 796 would be the next strong target slash resistance, and then 712 would be the next strong support. So this 754 is going to play a very big part in today. And so, like I said, best case scenario, it does close above that. Moving on, Webull. This one is a very much trending stock. It is the most heavily traded during the pre-market. Went down 6.64% yesterday, 6.5 today. And the reason is this. So it looks like, I guess there's lockup expiries that is kicking in today. So people yesterday were very fearful that insiders were going to sell. Based on the volume, it is fair to assume that some insiders are selling, but we haven't received any official forms to indicate that just yet. So potentially, if so, that would be later today, or if not tomorrow, that we do get some of those forms. But this is what is causing all of this fear. So if you don't believe that insiders are going to sell, or if that's a big deal, then yeah, buy the dip, definitely. That could see a very nice recovery in reality. So let me know your general thoughts on that. As far as shorts, 9.27% of the free floats being shorted, works to be 15.9 million shares. So it looks like we are now at all-time high short interest numbers. So interesting kind of stuff. DTC 1.03 days. So that does signal that shorts are rather overextended. So I think shorts are adding fuel to the fire a little bit and possibly taking advantage of a lot of the fear that's out there. Right now with it at 1193 during the pre-market, it is trading between this S2 and this S3. So 1229 will be that key point you really want to watch for Webull to get above and close above if you're going to see any sort of recovery. 1312 will be the following one. 1096 will be that strong support. So just watch for that. JOBY, so they are down about 10-11% during the pre-market because of this. So after hours, they did submit that they were going to be doing an offering, and then at 9:38 they announced the price. So they're going to be diluting about 30.5 million shares at a price of $16.85, and that's usually what happens, is a stock price gravitates towards that actual price that's being sold at. So you can kind of see we are sitting exactly at that 1685 point, but 11.07% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 57 million shares. So shorts surprisingly have been returning quite a lot over the last little bit. So maybe today might be that day that things change for that. But with it at 1685, it is trading between these 2 points. So this R1 and the pivot. 1534 is going to be a strong support. 1705 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. In my opinion, I do feel like this might get bought up and potentially gravitate towards this R1, but nonetheless, this and Webull, based on the amount of volume that's getting in, it will be amazing day trades. And then moving on to the last stock, ticker is BIAF. It is up 29% based on no real substantial news. So they put out news yesterday at 8 a.m. Clearly the market didn't care too much because it closed 4.3% in the red, but they did put this out after hours yesterday at 5:16, ultimately just saying that they put out news. So kind of comical if you ask me. I think that's just more of like a, hey, slap the market, we had news, bring us higher. But as I've explained in the past, even yesterday, whenever you see a stock down about 90+%, so this is down 95.31% over the last 1 year, and you're seeing a stock move higher for basically no substantial reason, pop over to dilution tracker and see if they have any warrants, convertible notes, or preferred stock. And yeah, that's your answer. So this stock has a lot of warrants, a lot of convertible preferred shares. So yeah, this most likely what is happening today is dilution. So doesn't mean you can't buy it. If you're an experienced trader, you can definitely ride the wave up, but be very cautious because as what we've seen in the past, every time there's these abnormal spikes, it is very short-lived. And so typically any dilution spike, it's only good for about half a day, in my opinion. So again, just tread cautiously. I wouldn't be surprised if this kind of did go back down to at least that $3 range at the very bare minimum. As far as shorts, 14.74% of the free float is being shorted, works to be 111,000 shares. So again, another indication whenever you see that low float, a lot of dilutive products and relatively heavily shorted, because of course dilution isn't always disclosed straight away. This is also another sign that you kind of need to stay clear of it. But right now with at 324, trading between this pivot and this S1, so I'm looking at the 1 day chart. So 245 will be a strong support, and then 337 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. Sorry, actually I think I'm looking at the 4-hour chart on a side note. But nonetheless, just kind of watch for a lot of these. If you're wanting to day trade, swing trade, you never know, things could heat up, and that would just be good to again ride the wave up. But in reality, this stock definitely isn't one of those ones that you want to hold long term. So let me know your thoughts on these stocks. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. I put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Worthwhile to pop over and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.